This is my Marlon Vera hack. I am fully committed to the fantasy. Can't tell me nothing. Look, we all know that the people that we choose to keep around us can either lift us up or drag us the fuck down. And, despite appearances, MMA is a team sport. So today, we're looking at the differences between Rob Font's tight-knit cartel and Marlon Vera's this ain't Dana White's best friend race attitude to training, to see if we can spot any hidden advantages that they might be taking into the Octagon with them this weekend. That ain't tea. But I'll give you the tea. Stop it. Go dummy, go beast. On the surface, Rob Font and Chito Vera have had quite similar careers. They debuted in the UFC, 5 pay-per-view events apart. Font made his first walk. It's difficult to say. Font made his first walk at UFC 175 in July of 2014, and then just 4 months later, Vera debuted at UFC 180. Both have had a long, slow grind to get to the point of contendership. Since those initial appearances, Font has competed 13 times and Vera 18. Both fighters have suffered their most recent loss to Jose Aldo, but Font's is fresh, whereas Chito has since won against Davy Grant and Frankie Edgar. And the Edgar knockout was a beaut, with Chito sending his opponent to the canvas with a thunderous front kick to the face. And neither Font nor Vera have been finished due to strikes in their entire careers. A fact that Font isn't letting faze him, as he predicts a knockout win over Vera. Font took a little less time to make it to the headline showings than Vera did, and as he sits at number 5, he is fighting down the rankings. But he knows this is still a big fight for him. Chito is a big name in the sport, with a fan base that only blooms with every win. This fight may not be the one that Font wanted. He talked about going after Corey Sandhagen, but it's the one the fans want. Let's go. And when you're coming off a loss, sometimes you have to take a step backwards and show you're willing, show you're making improvements, show you've learned from that failure. That's what Font is looking to do in this matchup. He's acknowledged where he fell down in that Aldo fight, not establishing range, not moving enough, getting hit too early. So we should expect to see vast improvements in those areas. Chito Vera on the other side of the Octagon is always a fan favourite, and by fan I mean me. In the words of Rob Font, he is a lanky Muay Thai / BJJ fighter. He's got the length, he's got the striking, he's got the ground game. Chito needs to implement his kicking game in this fight, destroying the lead leg of Font from the very first bell. And he needs to wear on that body too. Rob Font has solid boxing and a killer jab. So if Chito can attack that lead leg, he could reduce the power behind those strikes and wear Font down, while increasing his points, because I reckon this fight is going to go to a decision. And it's going to be a close one. Rob Font has been in more 5-round events than Vera, but he has said himself that his strategy going into those fights has not always been on point. So it's not as if he's this completely proven 5-round fighter going up against someone inexperienced. But he may have applied those learnings from those other fights. So we will see. But Chito seems to have great cardio, so those extra 2 rounds may not even be an issue. I just want Vera to win. So sometimes when it's this close and it really could go either way, you just have to vote with your heart. But last time I checked, it does seem like most people's hearts are going with Font for this fight. The nature of mixed martial arts, bringing in all those different disciplines, means that no one can go it alone and succeed. You need to soak in as much knowledge as you can from as many experts as you can get your striking mitts on. You need to surround yourself with people that are better than you, that can challenge you, push you, break you, and help to rebuild. Stronger, sharper, more deadly. And when it comes to the world that Rob Font has built around him, the word is exclusive. If your name's not on the list, and it ain't, unless your name is Rob Font, Calvin Cater, Nick Fior, Tom Tommy Pagliarulo, striking coach Jake Manini, wrestling coach John Dupree, strength and conditioning coach Michael Perry, not Mike Perry, Michael Perry, or head coach and manager Tyson Chartier. That's it. That's the New England Cartel. And it was designed this way, to be a small, powerful team that's 100% focused on one athlete at a time. When you're part of a big powerhouse gym, think your ATTs, your Jackson Winks, you're a small fish in a very large pond. Especially if you're just starting out or just aren't the biggest star they have there, and it's unlikely you are the biggest star that they have at one of those gyms. Odds are very low. You're gonna be down the list when it comes to splitting the coach's attention and getting the support you need. Yes, there are benefits to those big powerhouse gyms, and we'll talk about them more when we talk about Chito Vera. It's Rob Font's time now. Rob Font obviously didn't think he was getting the attention that he needed or deserved at his old gym. 5 fights into his UFC tenure, he approached Tyson and floated the idea of starting their own gym. Tyson mulled it over, came back with the idea of building just a small team all focused around Font's chase for the title. Calvin Kattar was already Font's main training partner, so bringing him in was a no-brainer. But that's not to say now that Kattar and the other 2 athletes that make up that side of the team are second to Font. Everyone cares about the other's success. Everyone's emotionally invested. They sweat just as hard, work just as hard when training for someone else's fight as for their own. Calvin says that when he steps in that octagon now, he is more prepared than he was when fighting at the bigger gym. He says those powerhouses just don't give a fuck about the individual fighter. In the New England Cartel gym, they cultivate an environment in which, as Kattar puts it, the world revolves around whoever it is that has a fight coming up. When Font took out Marlon Vera, Kattar was alongside, carrying towels, tending to his needs, whatever those needs might be. Don't ask, it's not your place. A month later in Abu Dhabi, Font did the same as Kattar went to war with Max Holloway in that incredible first event of 2021, you remember it. This selflessness is a part of their formula. It's about the fighter, it's not about the brand name, the money, or trying to attract more fighters to the gym. It's about doing whatever they have to do to make sure that the person stepping into that octagon is prepared and ready.
10 times 10, all my friends, we like Beamers. We ride Benz, 10 times 10, all my friends, this for real, till the end. Numbers on my phone, they keep calling me. Girlies at my shows, why they all on me? I don't want them, no, get them all off me. Say down for L, she'll cause a scene. 4 cars deep, we'll come through on a lane night. Chicken spot, wings and fries, we call that a day night. Lights on, sold out, I don't have no stage fright. Knew that I was built for this forever, ever, ever. 10 times 10, all my friends, we ride Beamers, we ride Benz. 10 times 10, all my friends, this for real, till the end. 10 times 10, all my friends, we ride Beamers, we ride Benz. 10 times 10, all my friends, this for real, till the end. Circle smoking, let too many.
The whole team travels to the fight location a week early because they both respect and enjoy that focused time together. No family distractions or responsibilities, just this amazing synergy and chemistry that the team has together. It's a bond unlike any other, as I've heard each of them say 1,000 fucking times. They say there's such an important growth in just that last week of fight camp. Things clicking that haven't before and wouldn't if they didn't focus all their time and attention on one another. It does help that this small group all has the same work ethic. They formed a team that embraces the grind and minimizes any egos. Just a bunch of guys that all want to push the pace, get the work done, and find ways to get in that next session rather than trying to get out of it.
Go dummy, go beast, oh no, I go beast. meditate. Going up, elevate. Watch me demonstrate. On time, never late. I grind, celebrate. No pump, fake, hesitate. I've been scoring every day. Champagne, Perrier. Since 9-3, been in the box now, stepping up.
And they all have the same vision and belief in the process and one another's skills. They trust each other explicitly, even when the whole world says, nah. The New England Cartel head coach, Tyson, was not a name that many had heard of in the industry when they decided to break away and form their own team. In fact, his transition to coaching came entirely by accident. He'd been practicing martial arts longer than Font and Keita, and just naturally started to kind of spot where they were struggling, give them some advice, fill in the blanks. He was just trying to help his friends. And then when they were winning and when they were losing, whenever they looked around them to see who their real circle was, there was Tyson. And the MMA world's skepticism only grew when Font lost his first fight following the formation of the New England Cartel. But those within it continued to trust the process, and the results started to come. I'm worried this hides my entire personality now. Community is such an important part of the human experience, and there are so many layers to it now. Family, friends, work, play, and this whole other social world of online communities. I would urge you to take a look around at the people that you surround yourself with in the areas where you're setting goals, and ask yourself if these people actually want you to succeed or fail, whether they're actively supporting you or selfishly trying to lead you astray, whether you lift each other up or you're just carrying their dead weight, you know what I mean? Do your beliefs align, or are you constantly butting heads and not in a way that's conducive to new ideas? If you're really serious about success, whatever that may look like to you, you may need to cut some ties. The New England Cartel's success lies fully in the relationships. Tyson says to reach the highest heights, you have to have that extra relationship that just most coaches and athletes don't have. You have to be there for the lows. You have to really, really appreciate the highs. Heck, Tyson's kids call Keita and Font uncle. But like I said at the start, to be the best, you have to learn from the best. And this streamlined set of coaches might be high level, but diversity is the key in solving any problem. More people, more experiences, more unique perspectives. It just helps to create a bigger, more complete picture, leading to bigger, more complete athletes. I'm sure that the New England Cartel works with other experts, even if that's just temporary sparring partners brought in for specific camps, or speaking with other coaches, attending seminars, etc. I'm sure the exclusive club we see isn't the full picture. In fact, I know that following 2 back-to-back losses, Font brought in mental coaches to find out what was leading to his downfall, visualizing finishes and increasing his submission confidence. And he says putting in those mental reps has changed his game completely. So there are definitely day passes to the New England Cartel Club available. But those tight-knit relationships where one person gives up their entire life to another, not like death, but you know, selfless acts of service, is one hell of a foundation to build off of. Cheeto, on the other hand, doesn't appear to be here to make friends. He's also not here for the fame or the clout or a shiny belt. He's here to make a good life for his family.
I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's robbing. Tyson with the fade, not the hair, my hands rocking. When I link with ball point, you know it's knocking. I'm not the same. Thinking money made me change, nothing else to blame. Bougie stuck up in my way, singing Gucci gang. Gucci gang, think I'm Gucci Mane. I'm just playing in the cut, I got my Vans on. I'm not selfish, I get on and put my mans on. Always greedy since the day I got my first safe. 5'7", but I'm 6'8" when I stand on the money pals. Need a money counter, I broke my thumb from thumbing down. Wifey on my line, she told me to dumb it down. Mama on my line, asking how I'm dumbing now. I think you only love me cause I'm poppin'. This a layup, this a rebound, then it's driving. Tyson with the fade, not there.
Cheeto says that when fighters get distracted, when they pay attention to those little things that don't really matter, like friends, they will fail. For Vera, the only way to reach your goals is through hard work. And it's all about the little things he does on a daily basis to get him to where he needs to be. And all this hard work takes place in the colossus that is the RVCA training centre. Side note, the letters RVCA are apparently pronounced RVCA. Who'd have thought it? Think of a martial arts super gym in heaven. This place is so modern and fucking sparkly white. I feel really bad for the cleaners. But RVCA isn't just a gym, my loves. It's a lifestyle. Not my words. It's a lifestyle brand, at least. It's predominantly associated with surfing and skating, but it's got inspiration from martial arts running throughout it. And the training centre is just another way that the brand shows it's more than just clothing. It's offering up opportunities for people to express their preferred ways of living. And this lifestyle is all about the balance of life, the balance of opposites, which was inspired by Bruce Lee and carried through to the logo, with the two chevrons reflecting and balancing on one another. And you can see it around the centre, the balance of art and industry, work and play, individuality and community. The training centre itself was opened in 2009 to support BJ Penn and his preparation for UFC 101 and his world title defence. It's not just an MMA gym, it's got everything a standard gym would need, as well as the grappling mats, the striking bags, a boxing ring and an MMA cage. For most fighters, training at a top MMA gym has a huge advantage when compared to a smaller gym. At a larger gym, they get to train with some of the best fighters from around the world. You all know iron sharpens iron, and that is the same for professional fighters as it is for you. Whatever it is you're looking to achieve, you should be seeking out mentors, coaches, teachers, and with social media making the world so damn small, it's easier than ever to pick the brains of those with sharper iron, and, of course, to give back and offer your unique perspective and knowledge to others. Elite fighters will learn from one another's skill sets and can support one another's lifestyle, which is another really important element. We've all been there, you're trying to change a habit, but you're still surrounding yourself with the same people that you indulged in that habit with. They're not looking to stop, they're just looking to pull you back into the world that they don't really want to leave. The RVCA brand is looking to grow, and that obviously opens up increasing opportunities for those associated with it and its immense scale, but also reduces personalisation and threatens to swallow lower ranked fighters in the process. All of the RVCA advocates are known as tough, scrappy fighters, and a lot of them have world championships to their name. So those that don't might want to watch out. With so many top names, I just wonder how much of the coach's time is focused on Cheeto. He's a great fighter for sure, but not a superstar or a champion yet. Speaking of the coaches, another huge advantage of these super gyms is that they attract a higher level and more varied array of coaches. And for RVCA, the jewel in the crown is world-renowned boxing coach Jason Parillo. Jason Parillo! I guess that all the time. Parillo has worked with and continues to work with incredible talent. He was by Mike Bisping's side for a lot of his career and features heavily in his new documentary. He's also worked with Chris Cyborg, Rafael dos Anjos, Mackenzie Dern, and Tito Ortiz. And now he works with Cheeto. Parillo says the mindset of a fighter is someone who doesn't have any quit in them. They don't want to quit on the bag, on the pads in sparring, in a fight. They have a different hunger inside. They don't want a fancier car than you. They don't want to make more money than you. They don't want a better chick than you. His words, not mine. They want to kick your ass and be a better fighter. Those that want it more, win. And that lines up perfectly with Vera's mindset. He wants it more than everyone else, including the other athletes in the gym. For him, there's no family there. It's a place where he goes to focus purely on himself and soak up, selfishly, all the skills and knowledge of the other fighters and coaches. Not to be bonded like family. He has a family at home. He says success is all about your personal life, and you work from your inside and go from there. It's not about a win or a loss. It's about how you handle your life inside that makes you go further than other people. Either way you lean, gym culture has a huge effect on performance. Some gyms are super competitive, which works for some fighters. Some are more supportive and encouraging. Again, horses for courses. But any environment you put yourself in has to be the right one for you. Don't be afraid to pick one up, decide that's not it, put it back down again. It has to have a culture that aligns with how you do your best work. As Cheeto says, it's about inviting positivity into your world so that you can grow from it. Don't let the bastards drag you down.